For decades, rumors surrounded certain places on the map: a fenced-off desert base, a luxury hotel with a hidden bunker, an underground city built for the end of the world, a listening station disguised as a ruin on a Berlin hill. Some of these locations were officially classified. Some were hidden behind cover stories. Others were exposed by journalists, declassified by governments, abandoned after the Cold War, or quietly opened to the public once their original purpose no longer needed to be secret. But all of them had one thing in common: they were real, not legends, not movie sets, not internet fiction. These were places built for war, intelligence, survival, and secrecy. And in many cases, governments denied, avoided, or concealed their purpose for years before the truth finally came out. These are 10 classified places governments finally admitted exist. This is not a list about rumors that were never proven. The focus here is on places with a real historical record: bases, bunkers, command centers, and secret cities that were eventually acknowledged, documented, declassified, exposed, or opened after years of secrecy. Number 10. Area 51, Nevada. No classified location on Earth has inspired more speculation than Area 51. For decades, the name was associated with UFO rumors, strange lights over the Nevada desert, and warning signs that made one thing clear: outsiders were not welcome. But the reality, while less alien, was still extraordinary. Area 51, also known as Groom Lake, was a secret aircraft testing facility used by the CIA during the Cold War. Its remote dry lake bed, restricted airspace, and distance from major cities made it ideal for testing aircraft the United States did not want the Soviet Union to know about. One of the most important was the U-2 spy plane. The U-2 was designed to fly at extreme altitude, high above Soviet defenses, carrying cameras that could photograph military sites from the edge of space. To develop and test it, the CIA needed somewhere isolated. Groom Lake became that place. Later, the site was also connected to the A-12 Oxcart program, the secret predecessor to the SR-71 Blackbird. When declassified documents finally confirmed the site's role in reconnaissance aircraft testing, it did not destroy the mystery around Area 51. It changed the nature of it. Area 51 is not the strongest story because of aliens. It is stronger because the real history is already astonishing. A site that barely appeared in public discussion became a symbol of government secrecy because the silence around it was almost as powerful as the aircraft being tested there. A hidden desert base became the birthplace of some of the most advanced aircraft ever flown. Number 9. The Greenbrier Bunker, West Virginia. In the mountains of West Virginia stands the Greenbrier, a luxury resort known for presidents, diplomats, and wealthy guests. For decades, most visitors had no idea that beneath the hotel was a secret designed for the end of the world. During the Cold War, the United States government needed a place where Congress could continue operating after a nuclear attack. The answer was hidden beneath a new wing of the resort. Construction began in the late 1950s. Officially, workers were expanding the hotel. In reality, they were also creating a massive underground relocation facility with blast doors, dormitories, meeting rooms, communications equipment, and spaces where lawmakers could gather if Washington was destroyed or contaminated. The cover story worked for more than 30 years. Then, in 1992, the bunker was exposed by the press. Once the secret was out, the facility could no longer serve its original purpose. It was decommissioned and eventually opened for tours. What makes the Greenbrier Bunker fascinating is how normal it looked from above. Guests could walk through the resort, attend events, and pass within meters of spaces designed for a national emergency without realizing what those rooms were connected to. There was no remote military fence, no desert warning signs, no mountain tunnel. just a glamorous resort sitting on top of a secret congressional refuge. Number 8. Burlington, the UK's secret underground government city. In Wiltshire, beneath the quiet area around Corsham, Britain prepared for a version of the future it hoped would never happen. During the Cold War, the British government converted old quarry tunnels into an underground emergency headquarters. The site became known by several names, including Burlington and the Central Government War Headquarters. It was designed to shelter thousands of government staff after a nuclear strike. The idea was not simply survival, it was continuity of government. If London became unusable, decision-makers could move underground and attempt to keep the country functioning. Inside were offices, communications rooms, stores, canteens, dormitories, medical spaces, broadcasting facilities, and areas intended for senior officials. For decades, the full extent of the site remained secret. The site was declassified in the early 2000s. By then, the Cold War had ended, and the idea of operating a government from deep inside a quarry belonged to another era. But Burlington remains one of the clearest examples of how far governments were willing to go to plan for nuclear destruction. This was not a small bunker. It was an underground version of the state, waiting in darkness for a war that never came. Its scale makes it feel less like a shelter and more like a shadow capital built to replace the visible one if the worst happened. Number 7. The Diefenbunker, Canada. Canada had its own secret plan for nuclear survival. Just outside Ottawa, near the village of Carp, a huge underground bunker was constructed between 1959 and 1961. Its official purpose was hidden behind a code name, Project Ease. The public eventually came to know it as the Diefenbunker, named after Prime Minister John Diefenbunker, although he reportedly disliked the nickname. The facility was designed as an emergency government headquarters in the event of nuclear war. From the outside, it did not look like the command center of a country. Much of it was underground, protected by thick reinforced concrete and earth. Inside, the bunker contained working areas, sleeping quarters, communications rooms, mechanical systems, and enough space to support hundreds of people. The goal was simple and frightening. If nuclear weapons struck Canadian cities, selected officials, military staff, and essential personnel could continue operating from below ground. After the Cold War, the facility was decommissioned in 1994. It later became a museum, allowing the public to walk through rooms that were once prepared for nuclear catastrophe. The strange thing is how practical it all feels. Desks, bunks, machinery, and communications rooms, all arranged for a future everyone hoped would never arrive. The Diefenbunker shows a different side of classified history. Not every secret site was built to attack, spy, or test weapons. Some were built because governments genuinely believed they might need to survive the aftermath of civilization being shattered. Number 6. Bunk'Art, Albania. Few countries built bunkers on the scale of communist Albania. Under Enver Hoxha, Albania became one of the most isolated states in Europe. The regime feared invasion from almost every direction and poured resources into defensive preparations. Hundreds of thousands of bunkers were constructed across the country, but one of the most significant was hidden near Tirana. This was a massive underground command bunker built to protect the dictator, senior officials, and military command in the event of war or nuclear attack. For ordinary citizens, places like this represented the paranoia of a state that saw enemies everywhere. After communism collapsed, the bunker remained a relic of a secretive past. Then, in 2014, it was opened to the public as Bunk'Art, a museum and exhibition space dealing with the history of the regime, the military, and Albania's decades of isolation. What makes Bunk'Art different from many Cold War bunkers is its emotional atmosphere. It is not only a technical structure of concrete and blast doors, it represents a whole political mindset: fear, control, secrecy. and the belief that an entire country might be turned into a fortress. In that sense, the bunker is not just a hidden place. It is a concrete version of the fear that shaped an entire regime. The government eventually opened the door. But what people found inside was not just a bunker. It was a physical record of paranoia built into the ground. Before we continue, subscribe to Classified Index for more investigations into secret places, hidden history, and the classified projects governments tried to keep out of sight. Number 5. Bunker 42, Moscow. Beneath Moscow, not far from the city's political center, lies one of the most cinematic Cold War locations ever opened to the public. Bunker 42 was built during the early nuclear age as a secure underground command and communications facility. The Soviet leadership understood that in a nuclear war, surface buildings could be destroyed within minutes. Communication systems, command centers, and leadership links had to be protected below ground. So a fortified underground facility was created deep beneath the city. The site was connected to Moscow's wider underground infrastructure and designed to function during emergency conditions. For decades, ordinary people walked above it with no idea what lay below. Today, Bunker 42 operates as a museum and tourist site. Visitors can descend underground, pass through heavy doors, and see restored command rooms, tunnels, and Cold War exhibits. They were part of a system preparing for the possibility of nuclear war between superpowers. The fact that Bunker 42 is now accessible does not make it less serious. It makes it more unsettling. A place once designed for secret military command has become a time capsule beneath one of the most important cities of the Cold War. It shows how much of that conflict was not fought in open battlefields, but in command rooms, cables, coded messages, and buried infrastructure. Number 4. Los Alamos, New Mexico. Some secret places are bunkers or bases. Los Alamos was different. It was a hidden scientific community built for one of the most consequential projects in human history. During the Second World War, the United States launched the Manhattan Project, a top-secret effort to build the first atomic weapons. Los Alamos, located on a remote plateau in New Mexico, became the center of weapons design. Scientists, engineers, soldiers, and support staff were brought together behind layers of secrecy. The location was chosen for isolation, security, and control. The work at Los Alamos led to the Trinity test in July 1945, the first detonation of a nuclear weapon. Soon after, atomic bombs were used against Hiroshima and Nagasaki. After the war, the secrecy around the Manhattan Project began to lift, and Los Alamos became known as the place where the atomic age had been created. Unlike a bunker, Los Alamos was not hidden under a mountain. It was hidden through administration, geography, and silence. An entire town existed because of a classified mission, and many of its residents were helping create a weapon whose power had never before been seen. Unlike a single bunker, Los Alamos was secrecy turned into daily life. Governments finally admitted it existed because the results could no longer be hidden. Number 3. Hanford Site, Washington. If Los Alamos designed the bomb, Hanford produced one of its most important materials. In southeastern Washington, the United States built a vast industrial site in secrecy during the Manhattan Project. Its purpose was to produce plutonium. The scale was enormous. Hanford's B reactor became the world's first full-scale plutonium production reactor. The plutonium produced at Hanford was used in the Trinity test and in the bomb dropped on Nagasaki. During the war, the site had to remain secret not only from enemy intelligence, but from almost everyone outside the project. Today, Hanford is known not only for its role in winning the war, but for the massive environmental cleanup that followed decades of nuclear production. What makes Hanford disturbing is that it was not one hidden building. It was a hidden industrial machine. a secret landscape designed to produce plutonium at a scale no one had ever attempted before. It was a classified place so large that it needed towns, roads, and thousands of workers to keep the secret functioning. The government eventually acknowledged what Hanford had done, but by then the site had already helped change the direction of world history. Number 2. Teufelsberg, listening station, Berlin. On a hill in western Berlin stands a cluster of strange white domes. They look almost like abandoned observatories or science fiction ruins. But during the Cold War, they formed one of the most important listening posts in Europe. Teufelsberg means Devil's Mountain. During the Cold War, West Berlin became an island surrounded by East Germany and the Warsaw Pact. For Western intelligence agencies, that made it valuable. From the top of Teufelsberg, American and British personnel could monitor signals from across the Iron Curtain. The station was operated by the NSA and Britain's GCHQ. To the public, the facility was visible but mysterious. Everyone could see the strange domes on the hill, but few knew exactly what was happening inside. After the fall of the Berlin Wall and the end of the Cold War, the listening station was abandoned. Equipment was removed, the site passed out of military use, and the domes became a landmark of Cold War ruins and urban exploration. Teufelsberg is powerful because it was hiding in plain sight. It was a classified ear pointed across a divided continent, listening to the hidden conversations of an enemy system. Now the domes remain as empty shells. The secrets they collected are gone, but the structure still shows how intelligence work shaped the physical landscape of Berlin. Even as a ruin, Teufelsberg still looks like a place designed to listen. Number 1. Cheyenne Mountain Complex, Colorado. The final site is not hidden beneath a hotel or disguised as a resort. It is buried inside a mountain. During the Cold War, the United States and Canada needed a hardened command center that could survive attack and continue monitoring threats to North America. The solution was the Cheyenne Mountain Complex in Colorado. Construction required tunneling deep into granite. Inside the mountain, engineers created a protected underground facility containing buildings mounted on huge springs designed to reduce the effects of shock. Massive blast doors guarded the entrance. The complex became fully operational in the 1960s as a command center connected to NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command. Its role was to watch for signs of aircraft, missile launches, and other threats. Cheyenne Mountain was built to keep operating even if the world outside was under attack. The image alone is difficult to forget. Steel doors, granite walls, and command rooms protected inside the mountain itself. Unlike some of the other places on this list, its existence became publicly known while it was still in use. But that did not make it ordinary. Even today, it remains a restricted military facility, though its general role has been officially acknowledged. Cheyenne Mountain is the perfect final example because it turns the idea of a classified place into something almost mythic. A command center hidden behind mountain rock. A place built for the moment no government ever wanted to face. These 10 locations reveal a different kind of history. They show that secrecy is not only found in documents, it is built into landscapes. It hides behind hotel walls, under cities, inside mountains, beneath deserts, and within ordinary-looking facilities whose true purpose is known only to a few. Some of these places were declassified. Some were exposed. Some were opened as museums. Some remain partly restricted even now. But once their existence became public, they changed the way people understood the Cold War, intelligence work, and the hidden architecture of government survival. The most unsettling part is not that these places existed. It is that for years people walked past them, lived near them, or heard rumors about them without knowing the full truth. And if these 10 places were eventually admitted, exposed, or opened, it raises one final question. How many others are still waiting to be revealed? And when they are finally opened, will they look like relics of the past or warnings about the future.